Today we're going to go over the study guide for chapter 10, and it's about mitosis and meiosis. So the first question says, how many chromosomes does a human have? And humans have 46 chromosomes. Or you can say that humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes in their somatic cells. Number 2 says, how many are autosomes? So in a normal human cell, 44 of the chromosomes are autosomes. Or you can say that 22 pairs of the chromosomes are autosomes. And then number 3 says how many are sex chromosomes. And so each normal human cell has 2 sex chromosomes or 1 pair of sex chromosomes. Number 4 says how many chromosomes are in a human egg cell. And there are 23 chromosomes in a normal human egg cell. Number 5 says if an organism has a haploid number of 10, how many chromosomes are in their body cells? So remember, haploid cells are gametes, body cells are somatic, which means that they have 20 cells, or 20 chromosomes in a body cell, and 10 cells in gametes. So sperm cells and egg cells would have 10 chromosomes. Number 6 says if a parent cell has 10 chromosomes, how many chromosomes will be in each daughter cell after mitosis? And the correct answer is 10 because mitosis makes an exact copy of the parent cell. Number 7 says, what is it that makes a human male? Remember, human males have an X chromosome and a Y chromosome. So that combination XY is what makes somebody a male. Next, we're going to use number 8, 9, and 10 to label this chromosome. So we're going to label the centromere, the sister chromatid, and the entire chromosome. So number 8 wants us to label the centromere. And if you recall, the centromere is the structure that holds the 2 sister chromatids together. So here it is labeled, or it is indicated by the color yellow. Next we'll do number 9, so we're going to label the sister chromatids. The sister chromatids are the 2 halves of the entire chromosome, and the 2 sister chromatids are held together by the centromere. Number 10 says to label the chromosome. And you should recall that the entire structure, composed of both sister chromatids and the centromere, is the chromosome. And this chromosome is doubled so that it's ready for mitosis and ready for the cell to divide. Number 11 says, what is the term for the picture above? And you should recall from the notes and the activity we did that this is a karyotype, a picture of all of the chromosomes from one cell. Number 12, about this karyotype, asks, what is the gender of the person shown above? So we know we need to look for the sex chromosomes. They're always the last pair in a karyotype. So here's the sex chromosomes. And you can see that both of the sex chromosomes here are X chromosomes. Anytime you have 2 X chromosomes, you have a female. And number 13 says, what disorder does this person have, if any? And so remember, you want to look for a chromosomal disorder, which means they are either missing chromosomes or have extra chromosomes. And you can see in this karyotype, this person has 3 chromosomes at location number 21. And that means that this person has trisomy 21, which is also known as Down syndrome. The next question is going to go over some different types of mutations. So the question says, to assume a normal chromosome goes in this order. And these are all genes, gene A, B, C, D, E, and F. So now you're going to write examples of what the chromosome would look like if the following disorders occurred. Because remember, you can have a disorder or a mutation that changes the order of the genes on a chromosome. So first is number 14. This is translocation. That means that part of the chromosome broke off and is now attached to a new chromosome. So here you can see the translocated gene is a fraction of this gene. And you can see that it was attached to the ABCD gene and it replaced part of the ABCD gene's information. So it's translocation, a gene or a set of genes from a different chromosome attached themselves to this segment. Number 15 is a chromosome that experiences a deletion. So if the normal sequence is A, B, C, D, E, F, a deletion might look like, for example, A, B, C, E, F. The missing letter, D, was accidentally left out during replication, when the chromosome made a copy. Number 16 is called duplication, and this happens when you have a chromosome that accidentally makes extra copies of one part of or many parts of the chromosome. So in this example, you can see that we have a chromosome that starts out normal. It starts A, B, C, D, E, but then DE gets duplicated or repeated twice before the rest of the chromosome. And so that's a duplication, when you have extra copies of all of the chromosome or part of the chromosome. And then the last one, inversion, remember, is if a chromosome gets copied backwards. And so this is when the letters are in the wrong order. So here you can see, instead of saying A, B, C, D, E, F, the new copy is backwards. It says F, E, D, C, B, A, because it was inverted or copied backwards. Number 18 says, when cells are grown in a laboratory, which of the following is a factor that can stop normal cells from dividing? And the correct answer is A, because when cells are in contact with other normal healthy cells, it inhibits them from dividing. Number 19 says trisomy is a mutation that results in a cell having an extra, and the answer is C, chromosome. So anytime you have one extra chromosome in one of the locations on a karyotype, it's considered a trisomy. Number 20 says people with Down syndrome have, and the correct answer is C, 47 chromosomes, because remember, they have an extra chromosome, number 21. So they have 3 copies of chromosome 21. Number 21 says a diploid cell is one that A, has 2 kinds of each chromosome, B, is designated by the symbol 2N, and C, has chromosomes found in all pairs. We read all of those because the correct answer is D. All of those are characteristics of a diploid cell. Number 22, a human male has the chromosomes X and Y. So remember, a male karyotype will have an X chromosome and a Y chromosome. A human female will have chromosomes XX. And so if you see a karyotype of a female, there should be 2 chromosomes that are the same size, because they're both X chromosomes in that position on the karyotype. Number 24 says a tumor is a mass of cancer cells. So when you have that group of cells that are growing more quickly than their neighbors, that's called a tumor. Number 25 says mitosis is the process by which a cell divides into 2 daughter cells. And remember, mitosis is different than meiosis, because mitosis produces 2 identical daughter cells that are also identical to the parent cell, whereas meiosis produces 4 daughter cells. All of those are haploid, and they are different from each other slightly, and they're different from the parent cell. Number 26 says that homologous chromosomes contain genes for the same traits. So remember, homologous chromosomes are the 2 halves of the pairs of chromosomes, and you get 1 homologous chromosome from each pair from your mother and 1 homologous chromosome from each pair from your father. So they contain genes for the same traits, but they are not identical. For example, you might inherit the gene for green eyes from your mom and blue eyes from your dad. They're both traits that code for eye color, but they're not the same. And number 27 says that cytokinesis is the division of cytoplasm. So this happens during telophase or at the end of telophase, and it's when the cell membrane divides the cytoplasm by pinching off. Number 28 says gametes is a term for sperm and egg. So remember, sperm cells and egg cells are both sex cells, but they're specific to males and females. So gametes is a more general term. You can have the male gamete, which is sperm, or the female gamete, which is an egg. Number 29 says that blank syndrome occurs when a person's sex chromosomes are X, and then it's a 0 or an O, meaning they're missing a sex chromosome. So if somebody has 1 X chromosome and no second X or Y, they have Turner's syndrome. Number 30 says that Klinefelter syndrome occurs when a person's sex chromosomes are XXY. So it's somebody who has 2 X chromosomes and 1 Y chromosome. Number 31 says somatic cells are regular body cells like skin and nerve cells. So remember, somatic cells are diploid and they make up most of your body's tissues. Number 32 says Turner's, Downs, and Klinefelter syndrome are all caused by non-disjunction. So remember, non-disjunction is when chromosomes divide improperly or unequally during mitosis or meiosis. And if it happens during meiosis, which is when we produce reproductive cells, if the cell is missing or has extra chromosomes, it can cause disorders such as Turner syndrome, Down syndrome, or Klinefelter's. When a cell has only one set of chromosomes in number 33, this is called monoploidy. So it's a cell that's haploid when it's not supposed to be. Number 34 is a little bit different. It's triploidy, and it's when a cell has 3 sets of chromosomes instead of 2 sets of chromosomes. So it means that they have a full third set of chromosomes. Number 35 says monosomy is when a cell is missing one chromosome. So Turner syndrome, for example, is a disorder where a cell is missing one chromosome, and so it's monosomy. Number 36, metastasis is the spread of cancer. So this is when cancer cells break off of one tumor and spread and start to grow in another part of the body. They're caused by number 37, a malignant tumor has spread and impairs at least one organ. So those are tumors that are harder to remove because they have moved to other places in the body. And so those are malignant tumors. A benign tumor, number 38, can be removed completely because these are not tumors that have spread. Number 39 says the process of converting a normal cell into a cancer cell is transformation. So this requires some sort of mutation to have happened to the cell so that it no longer responds to normal cell cycle regulation. And number 40 says a gene is a segment of DNA that codes for a protein. So remember, anytime you have a gene, it's just a bit of DNA that causes cells to make a specific kind of a protein. So there's different genes for the different kinds of proteins that are made by your body.